Hello, my name is Liam Pope-Lau and I'm from British Columbia, Canada. My invention is LifeHeat. It's a self-heating survival pack built to combat hypothermia. So essentially it's powered by chemical reactions that generate instant heat when it comes into contact with water. The inspiration for LifeHeat came when I was actually sailing. And unfortunately, since I wasn't the greatest sailor, I capsized my boat. So I was learning how to sail. It was part of one of the summer camps where it's learn how to sail. I was in a 420 and it was a beautiful day out. It was super warm, very sunny. Of course, you had a couple little clouds everywhere, but it was very nice, kind of the perfect weather to learn how to sail. Of course, since I wasn't the greatest sailor, when I was going for a tack, so essentially I was turning through the wind, I accidentally backwinded my jib and I backwinded one of the sails, and of course the boat tips over, you fall into the water. And when I did that, I just suddenly was immersed in this freezing cold water, and I realized, oh my gosh, it became hard to think, it became hard to do all of these certain things just because of cold shock. I was able to get back in and it wasn't that bad afterwards, since it was a beautiful summery day, and I was able to dry off. But I just kind of realized how cold it can get, even on that kind of warm summer day. And just imagine in the winter or in any of these other scenarios where this could be lethal. A friend and I were testing it out. Of course, this was in the earlier stage of LifeHeat. And I wasn't entirely sure that it was going to work to its greatest potential. So I may have or may have not added a little bit of extra of some of the chemical solutions to ensure that it would, I wanted to get my reaction. So I go down to the RVYC dock, which is kind of close to where I live. And we put on the life jackets and we hop in. And of course it was very cold. We were kind of struggling. We're like, we're gonna stay in the water, try and tough it out till, of course, we get the reaction. And then suddenly, as the reaction starts, we're thinking, it's starting to get warmer. This is really nice. And then it starts to get a little bit too hot, and then it starts to burn. And we realized, we put in a lot of course, these chemicals. When you actually fail and make your mistakes, whether it's a big one, like burning yourself, or if it's just, something didn't work, I think it's really important that you're able to see kind of what went wrong and what you can improve on, because that kind of gives you kind of the roadmap for what you do later. So of course, when I saw that I needed to graduate and make that kind of process of the reaction a lot slower, that was kind of my next step. So I realized, this is a flaw in what I have right now. Now that's what I'm going to pivot on and kind of move towards, since that's the kind of the biggest thing that I need to improve on right now. Ingenious Plus was probably one of the greatest launch pads for LifeHeat that I could even imagine. So kind of I had an idea and I had a prototype, but the mentorship was incredible. So even in the sessions, once you get into all of the programs, they connect you with all these mentors from different areas that kind of will help you refine your pitches, the development approaches. They'll teach you about all the different seeds and all the kind of different steps to being an entrepreneur and being in that world of fundraising and creating your inventions. Kind of one of the big lessons, of course, that they taught me was the patent process. Of course, it's a pretty convoluted process to go through. And so they kind of helped me break it down into steps so that I could protect my idea and be a bit more of a successful inventor. So for me personally, I think the biggest thing was just going out and trying the idea. If I thought, somebody else could do this better, I don't think this is the perfect solution, I don't think this could work, of course I never would have tried it, and I never would have been able to go on this journey and learn so much. Throughout this entire process, you kind of work on your idea. It's never going to be perfect, but it gets so much better. And throughout this process, you learn so much. And when you're able to apply all these ideas, if you hesitate at the start, it becomes really hard to kind of get the momentum to keep going. It's just about being able to believe in your idea.